I know you lot have been waiting for this one. Welcome to Hot Takes episode 10. The final hot takes before a couple weeks time we do our World Cup hot take predictions right before that kicks off. But like I said, today it is the end of the club season, so I've asked you guys on Instagram, send me all your hot takes about club football, be it this season, next season, last season, 10 years ago, whatever you want, and I'll pick out as many as possible and rank them on our Perry scale from extra hot, hot take, medium take, and then you got your mild and, lemon and herb takes that aren't really that hot. And I'm going to decide, am I letting you land? Am I parachuting off the plane? What's happening, right? You guys get the vibes by now. So if you are new here, you haven't subbed already, why? Make sure you do. Let's try get that 100k by the end of the World Cup if possible. First take is one that everyone's been speaking about. Abdul 3R says Anthony Gordon will flop at Barca. Now, it's not a hot take. This is like a medium take. Am I letting you land? You know what? I disagree with you. Because you guys know, it's well documented, I'm not even that big of an Anthony Gordon fan. I don't think he's that good. My personal hot take, you call me a madman, I'm not even sure he's better than, Javi Barnes. Me personally. However, saying that, it seems like he can just chuck anyone there and they're going to go and bag goals, right? So, realistically, he can bag, again, 10, 15 goals. They'll say it's okay. The Barca fans, they've already been, convincing everyone why it's an incredible side. I don't know what's going on, bro. They're talking about Anthony Gordon like he's Pele or Rivaldo or something. I don't know if it's because of the Carabao games and the Champions League stats, but you watch him in the Premier League, he's just some any left winger, bro. He's nothing special. But again, he'll end up getting numbers, and therefore we got to lie and say, yeah, what a signing he's been. He's not going to get them a Champions League if that's what the criteria is. So there we are. Next up, Liam11N says Arteta will end his career as the best Arsenal coach ever. Now that is a hot take. Some people are arguing if he wins on Saturday, he's already number one. I disagree personally. Obviously, Arsenal have never won the Champions League, but I don't think that's enough to usurp Arsene Wenger. Because I look at Chelsea, for example, right? I'd argue their greatest is Jose Mourinho. I don't think they're giving their greatest to Di Matteo or Thomas Tuchel. You know what I mean? Of course, the Champions League is massive, but you need to have a bit of a longer legacy and more trophies. So I reckon, listen, if he stays for like another 5 years, it's possible. But Arsene Wenger was basically revolutionary for not only Arsenal but the Premier League. So I'm looking at, if you want to quantify it, I'm saying again 2 more league titles and a Champions League, and then chucking an FA Cup here and there. Then sure, I think 3 league titles and a Champions League would be what I would say gets Arteta over Arsene Wenger in the all-time list. But again, you have to factor in, of course, Herbert Chapman and whatnot, who brought the WM formation. Then it gets a bit techie there. Shadow Edit says Inter losing 5-0 in the CL final is more embarrassing than Milan's 0-5 bottle against Liverpool. You know what? Obviously, bottles are a word that's come about more so in the last 4 or 5 years and that. I don't know if maybe Italians look at it differently, but I don't really view Istanbul as like a bottle, even though it is. I mean, you're 3-0 up and you lose the game. That's definitely a bottle. But I look at it more as like how incredible were Liverpool to have such a average Liverpool team compared to what we've seen recently, and for Gerrard to basically carry everyone and go and win that game. Listen, I believe, yes, you're right though. Inter losing 5-0 is way more embarrassing. To me, that's the most embarrassing final ever. I'm sorry. 5-0 pasting. Not even like a 3-0 past the pad. They said you have a 4th and a 5th. I'm seeing random birds like Mayulu pull up to score on your head. You're meant to be one of the best defensive teams in the world. That is definitely the most embarrassing. So I'm going to give it a medium take, but I'm on board with that plane. In fact, get me next to you. I'll be the co-pilot. Feel free. The Rain Falling says Antoine Semenyo is the Messi of Madueke's. Ooh, you know what? I like these kind of comparisons. I think I'm with you, I think I'm with you. So you're saying he's the best guy out of the ones that are like 1v1 specialists, but their touch can be a little bit baggy. But Antoine Semenyo has the crazy output and can sometimes, when on form, look better to watch. I think I'm with you on that one. Let me know if you guys have a better one in the comments, because you guys love these ones. A1 Ali, my good friend, for those of you who know, since secondary school times, obviously you guys will have seen him on the T90 pod as well. He says Chelsea will be back in the title race next season. I'm jumping off this plane. I won't be there. It's a hot take. Here's my analysis of things, right? They finished 10th. I rate Xabi Alonso highly. He's coming from a very toxic environment at Madrid to a similarly toxic one at Chelsea. Has he learned his lessons? We don't know. But I don't think they're good enough to mount a title charge. They can get Champions League especially playing once a week. But a title challenge, I'm talking about, again, a title race. That means you're there from, March, April, May. I don't think they'll be in there March, April, May. So no, I'm jumping off. Gurbinder says Krupi's the greatest English player in Prem history. Again, no. Listen, class season, numbers-wise, obviously he's again surpassed Robbie Keane and Robbie Fowler in terms of a debut teenage season. But I look at the likes of Fabregas and Rooney, and I just say, I'm sorry, Krupi, you got a long way to go before you touch those levels. So hot take, but in fact that's extra hot, but I'm not joining you. Anurag says an all-time Milan 11 can be all-time Barca 11. That seems like a topic for an entire video. Off the dome, you're gonna have obviously a Milan back five. Maybe right back can be debatable, because Cafu's best time is Roma, and therefore you go Dani Alves. So Dani Alves will be the right back, and then the rest is going to be all Milan. Midfield, then you argue it could probably be a Barca trio, in terms of balance, that is. And in the front line, I struggle to see how that Milan defense, as incredible as it is going to be stopping prime Messi, prime R9, and prime Ronaldinho in the same 11. And then you even add Cruyff, and maybe even Neymar off the bench. No, I can't lie. That's too much, man. I think they can win, yes. So it's not a hot take, but I disagree. I think Barca would win. If it was like a best of 5, I think Barca would get the better of them. But let me know what you guys think. It's Spider says Bruno for Ballon d'Or nomination, at least top 20. The thing is, he will get in that top 20. We've now learned that you can just do anything, show up in the last month, do something random, and without achieving that much, you can get in, right? So I expect him to be maybe even honestly 17th or 18th. He will end up being there. Not in my criteria where you must be playing in Europe, because that's a normal thing to expect, but in their criteria where you can go out of every competition and just get assists, no problem. Armani V11 says 25-26 Arsenal are the worst Prem winners this century. Yeah, someone's taken the title well, it seems. I mean, it depends on what metric you want to use. I'm not sure what one I would agree with you on, though. I don't think it's even a hot take, because everyone seems to be saying that. But if you're talking on a points total thing, which I assume is what guys are doing, obviously there are multiple teams with less points than this Arsenal team. No more than even just Liverpool last season, who also weren't playing a great football if you're talking about stylistically. So I don't really know what you mean, because Arsenal won their Champions League group and might even win the Champions League in about 48 hours. So I don't really know where you're going with that. But if you're angry, no problem. Oscar Northeast says Elliot Anderson is an overall better player than Rice, more creative and better ball winner. See, you're already wrong to begin with. Then you said better ball winner to end it, and the way that I launched myself at that plane, bro, I'm running even. I'm jumped out, yeah, but I'm not asking for a parachute. I'm just saying, just let me go, whatever happens, bro. I'll find a way to land, because you are not going to land any better the way that you've ended that. Jane DeWall says Ronaldo has a better free kick goal catalogue than any footballer ever. We mustn't forget Marcelinho Carioca in Brazil. His free kick, bro, they're putting 10 man on the wall for this guy, and then guys on the line and stuff, and he's still just smashing it from any angle, power, curling it, top corner, bottom corner, finesse, everything, man. Mata, there's a lot of, I think guys are really angry Arsenal won the league, Mata Dump says Arsenal next season aren't winning the league. They will start well, but injuries ruin them. If you had to ask me right now who I think wins the league, I'll say Arsenal. Obviously the window is just open, so we don't know. Well, it's not even open technically, but you know what I mean. I believe Arsenal will win the league again, if you ask me right now. I think there were plenty injuries this season, but you don't hear about it as much because they may do, right? You've got a bit of a squad now, so you have Saka out for 3-4 months, no problem. Odegaard 3-4 months. The entire front line, whether it be Martinelli, Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus, every single one of them, whether you rate them or not, Marino, are missing like half a season and they still got on with it and won the league. So I'm not sure I agree with you on that one. It's Caleb. Pele's massively over it. Let's just move on, bro. I don't know why guys still do this like rage bait gimmick or whatever. Sage Master Guy. Dembele was always a better player than Mbappe. Calm down. He was just really... He's telling me to calm down mid-take. So what he's done is, yeah, the plane is shaking. Boom, 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 boom. I can feel the turbulence. The seatbelt sign is coming. This guy's saying calm down. It's okay. Bro, the plane's upside down. I can see the water telling me to calm down. I disagree with you. I'm sorry. To say he's always a better player is just wrong. Like Mbappe he's not even consistent now, Dembele, by the way. He shows up at the end of the season, goes crazy, and then, you know, I don't call that consistent, me personally. So I just disagree with you completely. Sorry. Daniel Ledoux Garbayo. Kvara would win the Ballon d'Or if it wasn't a World Cup. What's with these guys and Ligue 1, bro? Honestly, I know most of you aren't even watching these games. You just bring it up because of Champions League, which granted is the biggest competition. But when man are making like 8 or 9 starts in the league, they're getting, you know, 7 or 8 goals in the league. How on earth is that Ballon d'Or form? What are you guys talking about? You can't just show up from... When did PSG play Chelsea? Was that last 16? Whenever that was. That's when Kvara arrived this season. Come on, man. Be serious. Mbata Shandu says Enzo will prove the doubters wrong and will win the Prem and Champions League. Hot take? I disagree, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Enzo Maresca's football will translate to Man City in the way that guys are expecting, or rather the Man City owners are hoping, personally. Again, that could change. Let's see how he utilizes Haaland. Could be something very interesting. We'll find out. Couldn't find a decent name. Soz says Gabriel and Saliba are already an all-time top 3 Prem CB duo. It is an extra hot take. Am I having a bite of that meal? It's Terry and Carvalho. It's Vidic and Rio. That's like the 2 main CB pairings. Then third, Van Dijk's not really got a pairing, does he? Because there's, you know, Gomez and Matip and Konate. Obviously, you've got Kolo Toure, so Campbell. Top 5, I'd say. I think they will definitely end top 3. And honestly, could push further than that. But right now, saying already, I don't think I can agree with you. No, they're knocking on that door, but I disagree. Nam says the Serie A doesn't have a single star player top 5 in their position. Well, that's already wrong because, you know, you can go left back or left wing back and DeMarco's there, right? Our brother's, you know, he's been consistent for a while now, despite defensively some question marks. Crazy assist numbers as well. That seems to be what everyone loves, right? If you just put up assist numbers, you're the best player in the world. So DeMarco already says that your thing is false before even going to anywhere else. Habibi Shoal says Hull top half of the table finish. No. Hull, my take will be they finish dead last. I don't see them doing anything this season. They will be lucky to touch 20 points, in my opinion. This could be, again, they're going to play me in the stadium saying, remember when my man said that? But, listen, I used to like Hull, by the way, in secondary school. I was in, year 7, I think, when Hull were fighting for top half that first few months of the season, if you remember, with Giovanni. And right now, nah, I'm sorry, man. Abdul Rahman bin Salama says, Bruno will be the best midfielder in the Prem. No, why do guys do this, bro? Like, bro, the brother's pushing 30. What do you mean best ever? He's not even like in a top 10 list. And you're talking about best ever. What's going on here, bro? He's not even competed for a league title. At least like everyone else here, they've got a league title. Or Gerrard was so good for so many years and was in at least title races. Bruno's never been in one. How can he be the best ever? What are we talking about? D. Cairo says Newcastle have the best streets won't forget players ever. That's a longer topic again. Hot take. I like it. So you're looking at what? Demba Ba, Papi Cisse, Ben Arfa. You can even argue Cabaye. I used to love Andy Carroll, Noberto Solano, Aspria if you're going further back. I tell you what, I'm liking this. Let me know in the comments. Is there a team with more than this? Obviously, I'm sure there's loads that I'm going to be missing out, but I like it. And Zogbia as well. Fair. You make a good point. I'm eating at your restaurant. But, you know, like on the Sainsbury Tesco thing, they say, oh, if a better supermarket offers me better, I'm going to go there. So let me know if there's like an Everton or a Villa or something that has better, maybe even Wigan. Let me know. Jack O'Neill says if United didn't have Hamorim for half the season, they would have won that. But yeah, I think, remember first half of the year where we were banning Chelsea from like having opinions? I think that thing might have to go to United, bro. Like, this last 4 months has got them so carried away beyond belief. I want to remind you, you ended up finishing, I don't know, 12 or so points, 13 points behind Arsenal, who were juggling the FA Cup, the Carabao all the way to the final, the Champions League all the way to the final. You're playing one game a week and didn't do anything with that. What makes you think that, you know, starting the season is going to have the same impact? And then you factor in pressure of a title race. We know that it's all well, you know, playing with basically nothing on the line, right, other than just get quick Champions League football. Title races are very, very different. So please, let's behave. Unknown Sway says Madrid will continue to fall off next season and sack Mourinho in January. Hot take, disagree. I don't think he'll get sacked in January. I've been saying it for a while. I think he is the one spark plug that could fix it. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Fawaz Junaid says, I reckon Angry Ginge could pocket Gap. I'm not going to finish his name. And you know what? Facts. I've seen Angry Ginge clamp Carlos Tevez. And Carlos Tevez is a fantastic baller, underrated in my opinion in all-time conversations for both United and City. Maybe even Juve, you could argue. So this guy, yeah, light work. Vince Bulos, Ribéry and Robin are the best winger duo of all time. My mind changes here and there, you know, because pairing, that means we can't really factor in Liverpool, right? Because they're more of a trio. You don't really count Mane and Salah, and they hate each other. But at the same time, is it about whether you like each other or not? They perform really well, won trophies. Obviously, again, the United one is like Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, so it's not really a duo. Jairzinho, you know, Garrincha, but then you factor in like Tostao and Pele. Ted Drake and Cliff Bastin, 1933, for those of us who remember. Yeah, I'm going to let you land. I'm going to say yes. For now, I'm going to say yes. DVN Cott says Oliver Glasner's a better coach than Michael Carrick. Well, I mean, he's won 3 trophies with Crystal Palace. I think that goes without saying that for now, that's definitely the case. Obviously won, you know, before he arrived at Palace as well. So, yeah, Carrick, obviously there's Middlesbrough. There's a great job so far with United. But even still, let's be honest about it, the performances, a lot of them have been a bit wishy-washy, questionable, but we're ignoring it because, of course, 3 points is 3 points. But let's see next year what's going to happen. Brian says, Slot is the most classless coach in the Prem. I agree with that one. I've always said this thing, right, where every manager at the top level doesn't like losing, right? I get it. So when I say he's a massive sore loser, you're going to tell me, oh, but so is everyone. I understand that. But his thing, he throws his own players under the bus, his own legends under the bus as well. He starts beef with, you know, players that carry him, as well as having the negative press conferences and always saying, but look at this team, what they're doing. Look at that team, what they're doing. That, to me, yeah, I'm sorry, that's lacking in class. So you are spot on. I am flying that plane with you. I'm even on the wing, just chilling like that. Zinho says, Szoboszlai is not world class or will never be class. He's not a good player or midfielder. Listen, I was going to board that plane, but then I saw where you were going, and I saw EasyJet, I saw Ryanair, I saw Wizz Air. I said, you know what, you've lost me at the end there. Because to say he's not a good player, that's a bit harsh. Sorry, something's in my eye, by the way. Obviously, he's a good player, bro. Like, you don't start for a Champions League qualifying team and you're like completely rubbish. Ooh, oh God, he's going to be playing Champions League next year. But you get my point. You don't start as one of the main guys if you're bad, right? Obviously, he's got some good free kicks and he can run around and try very hard. But in general, world class, I agree with you. He is not world class and will never be world class. That I'm with you. But you did too much sauce, bro. You overdid it. Now my chips are drenched, bro. I just asked for a bit of Perry. You've drenched it. Let's see. Where are we? Barca will convincingly win the quadruple next season. No. Again, not with like guys like Anthony Gordon, not with that backline. There will be no quadruple for Barcelona unless, of course, there are some reinforcements that we're unaware of so far. Again, let's wait until, you know, July, August to see the transfers. Will they reinforce the backline? I don't know. For now, it's a very hot to say convincingly as well, by the way. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. But, again, that's your opinion. No problem. Abdi Omar says United transfer window is overrated. It depends who you're asking, really. Lamens was a class signing. Cunha, I think, ended up being a good signing. And Buemo a bit questionable still, right? Because the numbers were there, but he had a lot of stinkers. Maybe more stinkers than good games, to be fair. Sesko, the jury's still out, right? He had a lot of meaty games as well as getting some goals. So, I don't know if I'd say overrated. I don't really know if United fans are gassing it like crazy. But, again, yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm Something You Hate says Muller has a better club and national legacy than Neymar. Here's one thing for me. If you say better career, you can have a question or whatnot. But legacy, to me, I don't even want to be rude here. I don't think it's even close. I don't think Thomas Muller's legacy will chat to Neymar's whatsoever. In the sense that 10 years from now, listen, big respect, Thomas Muller's IQ. No one's going onto YouTube to type in Thomas Muller IQ compilations. I don't mean that to be rude. Like, he's even the best Muller in Bayern when Gerd Muller's there. Whereas Neymar, they're still fighting for their lives to get him to this World Cup. Everyone idolizes him. Kids grow up wanting to be Neymar, whether you're from Brazil, from France, from Spain. They all idolize Neymar. He is inspiring the next wave of footballers to try and enjoy football. Thomas Muller, again, great career and numbers and whatnot, and again, great IQ, but that's not something that, like, it's too intangible. I'm not going to YouTube to watch Thomas Muller in 10 years. I'm sorry. Kyle0710 says Gibbs White deserved to make the England squad more than Bellingham this season. No. Gibbs White deserves to be on the plane, but you have to understand that guys like Bellingham, he was injured first and foremost. He was great when he wasn't injured, but even if he was poor, he's going to the World Cup no matter what, because you have to have guys that you can rely on, that have come clutch for you many occasions. You look at the overhead kick. I was there for that game. Was it Slovakia? I think it was. Stuff like that, bro. You need Jude there. He's someone that's played at the highest level, under the highest pressure, week in, week out for a couple years now. You can't leave Bellingham out, so that's a bad take. Annie Rood, speaking of England, says 2 cool decisions were not as bad as you guys think. Only 2 or 3 were off. Yeah, but those 2 or 3 were very questionable, you know. So I got a mosquito bite as well, by the way. Everything's going wrong right now, man. I've opened my window because it's too hot, and I get a mosquito bite. So if you see me scratching, my bad. Listen, for me, the 3 big omissions: Gibbs White, aforementioned, Lewis Hall, and Trent. Those 3 had to have been in my opinion. What Jordan Henderson's doing there, I don't know. Jed Spence, again, you know, I don't know. But hey, it's not my team, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Final 3, Ali MUFC 8 says Palace and Sunderland will become a powerhouse in the next 5 to 10 years. Do you guys remember when I was talking to you guys about Palace? Time ago, I was telling you lot, the name carries crazy aura. They're now winning trophies with that crazy aura photograph of Mateta doing boom and his teammates joining him. Crystal Palace as a club name is incredible. It has the, you know, you can see it being a headline name. South London, they've got their heritage as well. So I'm there with it. Sunderland, maybe not so much, I can't lie. Sunderland, they're a big club, but I don't see them being like a powerhouse to the point where they, you know, permanently overtake Newcastle in terms of the last 10 years where Newcastle have had multiple CL runs. Rifirim says Oscar at Chelsea is better than Coutinho at Liverpool. For me, no. Bro, like, other than that Juve goal, let's be serious, bro. What was Oscar on? What was Oscar on? Had a great FIFA card. And I'm not even Coutinho's biggest fan, by the way. Shootinho, I call him. Just spamming long shot finesses until they eventually go in, bro. So you watch Coutinho's compilation, it's like, yeah, this guy's the greatest shooter ever. But they won't show you the 15 that he misses before that. And obviously the moment that he left, they started winning things. So whether you find it a coincidence or not, you know, I don't know. But there we are. I still think Coutinho delivered them bigger moments and more consistently than Oscar did. So hot take, sure, but it's not a nice flavour. You've burnt the chicken, and I'm going to close the restaurant. RDNT 1054 says, the final one, a reason why Premier League is the best league is because the community is fun and engaging. Does anyone agree with that? The community is fun and engaging. A community where everyone seeks to just rage bait and make people angry and troll and do wara this and call each other dumb names and whatnot. That's fun and engaging. Hey, maybe that's fun to you guys. And obviously, I'm not 12 years old, so I have to bear in mind that sometimes in the comments here, I stop arguing because I realize you might like 12. Some of you are 15 or 16. I'm not arguing with people like half my age, but I don't find it fun or engaging at all. I think it's one of the worst communities ever, actually. Football discourse is going down the drain. Big media companies, content creators, everyone is on the same gimmicks nowadays. So there we are. I try to be different, and if you guys appreciate the difference that you get, you know, over here, obviously make sure you like the video, comment, you know, whatever you want to comment, what you ate today, what you're eating tomorrow, do whatever you like. Spread the video, bro. Hype it even. Make sure you hype it on the phone. You can hype nowadays. Do that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. More vids coming every single day, so don't worry. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. Have a wonderful rest of your week. In a bit.